Hi there, Tracy here. Got my apron on. So today is a day for canning. So we're not full into our vegetable harvest right now. Cucumbers and beans are just starting. So today I'm gonna do a little freezer clean out and I'm gonna do some split pea soup. So I had a couple ham bones in the freezer. I took the meat off of them and then just froze the bones. So last night I did a stock with the ham bone and just shredded any pork or any ham that came off of it. So I have that in the fridge. And then I have a 2-pound bag of split peas. So I'm going to do a split pea soup. I'm going to do it here on my induction burner. Just because I don't want to heat up the house. It's really muggy today. So we already had our walk today, me and the pup. I'm going to get these peas started and then I'm going to go do a little outside work, bring it back, do my canning, and then it might be an inside day for the rest of the day. It's supposed to get up to like 35 degrees Celsius with the humidity. I think it's around 28 without it. And then in town, because we're by the ocean, in town it's supposed to be quite hot, which is where my husband's working today. So we're going to try to keep the house cool this afternoon. So I love split pea soup. My kids do not. So I'm going to be canning it in pint jars, so half-liter jars. It'll be just enough for a serving size for me and my husband if we have it with like a little grilled cheese or a little salad on the side or something like that. But it's a nice, hearty, filling, healthy soup. One of my absolute favorites. So I'm going to get my beans rinsed. Even though these are store-bought beans, I doubt there's any rocks in here, but I still like to give them a rinse, get the outside starch and any contaminants off of them, and then just pick out any stones if there are any. I'm going to put it in my cast iron, and then for this is a 900 gram bag of peas. For one of these, I'm going to add 16 cups of the ham stock that we made last night. I'm going to get these rinsed, and I'll bring you over to the counter, and I'll show you what I'm doing. Alright, so I just rinsed those split peas a couple times. I'm using yellow split peas. That's what I bought. You could also use green. I do find the yellow looks a little prettier in the jar. And I'm going to use my induction cooktop. I'm not going to plug it in yet because it does have a fan on it, so it's a little bit loud. But I'll get my ham stock. So I made this yesterday and strained it, and then it's just been sitting in the fridge. You'll notice there is quite a bit of fat on the top. It's all just going to soak into those beans, so we're not going to worry about it. So, 4 cups. I think I should have just enough. Oh, this is the one with the... So there wasn't much ham that came off of those bones, as you can see. That's 12 cups, and then I've got a little bit more in this one. This is nice because this is going to clear a lot of room out of my fridge. I might even have a little bit extra. If I do, I'm just going to put this back in the fridge because I might have to thin this out after it boils. Split peas are just like beans. They're going to absorb all that liquid and get really thick. So I might have to thin it a little out before I'm canning it. So I'll just leave that little bit, less than 2 cups. I'll just stick it in the fridge. If I need it later, I will grab it. So we're going to bring this to a boil, stick the cover on it, and let it simmer for 1 hour. All right, I will bring you back after an hour, and we will get our next ingredients in, which will be my carrots and celery and ham and a bay leaf. So far, we are up to 2 pounds of split peas that cost me this much, and then an additional 16 cups of ham broth, which I count as a value added product. If you want to see my other video on bone-in ham, I did one a couple days ago. So I count the ham broth, the bone broth, as like a value added. I don't count it as a cost. Hope that makes sense to you. All right, bring this to a boil and let it simmer for an hour. All right, so I was able to get some work done outside and let this simmer for an hour. I just turned off the induction burner. Did I grab my spoon? Yeah, here, I'll show you what it looks like. Can you see the pot? I think so. So the beans are, or peas are soft. Now you could blend this at this point if you want. This is going to be cooked again in the pressure canner. So I'm going to just blend it on opening if I choose to. And that gives me some options too of different ways I can serve it. So I already chopped up 2 cups of carrots. I am doing a double recipe. I don't know if I mentioned this already, but this is Bernadette's recipe. So it's 2 cups of onions, 2 cups of carrots. What is going on with this carrot? It's very dry. I just bought these. And 2 cups of carrots, 2 cups of onions. Sorry, I got distracted. And 2 cups of ham. And I'm going to throw a bay leaf in. And then we're going to simmer for another 30 minutes. Now, because you're canning, you want to make sure you take off that carrot peel. You do not want to put root vegetable peelings in canning, because that is, you got to remember, botulism is soil-based bacteria. So you really don't want to have unpeeled veggies. So those carrot peels will just go to the chickens. Now, normally I would take the time to dice these up, but because I will most likely be blending this soup on opening, I'm just gonna chop these. So 2 cups, I don't know if 4 will be enough. So 2 onions, that is the very last of the onions I got for 77 cents, a 2-pound bag. So I would say we were at 15 cents for the onions. And I'm not sure what we're going to need for carrots yet. I might need a couple more. Let's see where we're at. That gave us about 1.5 cups. I'm going to add 2 more carrots.
Smell the gravy.
No. It's pea soup, that's why. You probably don't like it.
And it smells like you're cooking, like, lard again.
Cooking what?
Lard again.
Oh, well, it is made with ham stock. All right, so that's 6 carrots. So half a bag. So $1 worth of carrots. Just gonna go ahead and put my scrap in here. And add a bay leaf and 2 cups of ham. All right, so I just gave a rough cut of that ham that I had taken off the bone. We're adding 350 grams, which is 2 cups. And that was $1.55 a pound. That ended up working out to be a boneless. So 350 grams is this much. And that is it. I went and threw our bay leaf in. I'm I'm not even going to include the cost of the bay leaf. It's something like a penny. I got a whole big bag of them for $1.29 a few years ago. All right, so we're going to turn this back on to a simmer and let this simmer for 30 minutes, and then it's time to can. If you are paying attention to the numbers, this is what our total is for this pot. All right, so this has simmered for another 30 minutes. I went and got my canner. Now I'm using a Presto digital pressure canner. There is some controversy if these are approved or not. They are not officially approved, but I feel confident in them. I've been using this for about a year. Now, if I could have bought a stovetop one, I would have. They have a bigger capacity. They are cheaper. However, my stove is not compatible. I have contacted the manufacturer. But when I do replace my stove, I will get a regular, just Presto stovetop pressure canner. So we're doing pint jars, so 75 minutes. I put my pints in, it holds 8 pints. 75 minutes and it warms them up. So now it's on fill. So I'll just take out my jars and fill it. And my daughter just ran down to the mailbox for me, and I got an order of seeds for next year. I get these through Eco Seed Bank. 50% off seeds right now. So pretty excited to open up these and see what we got. All right, I'll start filling jars. So we are pressure canning. So we're going to 1-inch headspace. Like I said, you could have pureed this and thinned it out. I'm just going to leave it as is. And then when we serve it, we can decide if we're going to thin it out or not. And we will probably puree it at that time. And as I'm looking at this, I think I'm going to have some leftover, which is good because we can have it for supper tonight.
Yay.
Because tonight, do you know what tonight is for the meal planning?
Yep, kids' choice.
Kids' choice. So you guys have to decide what you're going to pick for supper within reason. Nothing too crazy, no cake or anything, but.
I liked those pizza sticks as well.
Well, that's what we had last night, though.
I know.
Now, this is where it'd be nice to have a stovetop one, because I could do more than 8 pints at once. But I'm not running the canner again for 2 pints or something, so. It will just be supper. Okay, so we got our 8 pints, and that's how much we have left over. Probably about, what, 3 cups of soup? Thank you for your service, bay leaf. Can you go throw that in the compost for me? So that'll be our supper tonight. Me and hubby. Just going to give our rims a wipe.
Especially now.
I know. Well, that one I messed up, didn't I?
Yeah.
And as always, I have my lids ready to roll.
I want to put this actually on and put the encore on his home, but I kind of can't. Because he would actually hate that. I'm there with the dog hair in my soil.
So, pints will be 75 minutes, and if you wanted to, you could use quarts, and those would be 90 minutes. All right, I'll get this guy filled up. Here we go. 8 pints. Where's my lid? Here it is. And the nice thing about the electric is it's really foolproof. Heats the jars. Then it's time to put the regulator on. It'll tell you. You just pop it on. And then, this has been in the closet, so it's really dusty. And then it'll take it through everything. It'll do its own cool down, and then it'll tell you when it's done, it's cool down. But this is going to take, probably 3 hours, because cool down does take a long time. That is one of the downsides. Why is it so off kilter? I think I'm on 2 separate countertops. that's two of the downsides, is the capacity and the time it takes for cool down. But then positives is how foolproof it is. All right, that is it for this part. I will bring you back when I'm taking the jars out in a few hours. I'm going to open up my seeds. That's what I'm going to do. And I'm just going to set this on our stove top. And this will be supper tonight. This company is changing their seed packaging, so they're selling off all their old stock. So their prices are already pretty reasonable, and then 50% off. So I was able to get all of these. Was $85 with tax. I got zucchini, Spanish onion, 500 Boston pickling seeds, 100 sweet pea, jack-o'-lantern pumpkin, and then for the smaller seed packs, we got red onion, green zebra, tomato. These are all heirloom varieties. I got a dark green zucchini, cherry queen zinnia, polar bear zinnia. I thought the red and the white would look pretty together. And then of course I just got a California giant zinnia, golden nugget cherry tomato, yellow pear tomato, autumn king carrots. That's 5,000 seeds in there. I got these zucchini. They're supposed to get really long, like 4 feet long. So they're a vining one, so I'll have to put them on a trellis. Catnip, dill. I bought some stevia to try. I've never grown this before, but why not? San Marzano tomatoes. I grow these every year, but I'm out of tomato seeds. I planted every tomato I had. I got another type of cucumber marketer. Some cucamelons. I got a muncher cucumber as well. These cucumbers all have 100 seeds in them. Now, they were running out of stock on some things, so I didn't get everything I wanted, but a Genovese basil. This is a carrot called Littlefinger. I thought might be nice to try to grow a shorter carrot, because sometimes I find they do break off. I got a rainbow mixed carrot. I don't even remember ordering this. Atomic red. 10%. Why didn't I order this many carrots? Let me look at my packing list. Okay, so I had ordered, that didn't seem right. A scarlet. Okay, so what I'd ordered was a scarlet Nantes carrot. Nantes? And I ordered 5,000 of them. And that was $6.99 and then 50% off. So instead they sent me these, which I didn't recognize the name as I said it, Autumn King. And it's still 5,000 seeds. But then because they were out of stock, they sent me a whole bunch of extra. 6, 7, 8, another almost 10,000 carrot seeds. So these were all free. And that was the substitution. So yeah, they're really great about this. My total was $88.69 with tax. Anyway, I don't know if you care about that, but I do. Those will be added to my seed box. Very exciting stuff. All right, I'll bring you back in a couple hours when we're pulling our soup. All right, it is the next morning. I took these probably around 2 p.m. out of the canner. Just let them sit overnight. Gave them a label, took the rings off, and gave them a wipe around. So I did put in 8. One of them didn't seal properly, so I just added that to our soup last night. The kids decided last night they also wanted soup and sandwiches, so I did a couple grilled cheese, a couple ham and cheese, and then we had our split pea soup. I was really surprised the kids wanted to try it, and they all ate. I wouldn't say they ate much. They probably ate about half a cup each with their sandwiches, but that's the first time they've tried split pea soup more than a spoonful, so we'll call it a win. So as you can see, it is thick, but that's all right. Everything was done correctly. And then when I open it up and heat it up, I will probably puree it. And if I want to add a little extra stock or water or milk or whatever, I have that option. So 7 pints of soup going down on the pantry shelves. So my total, I made 7 pints, and then we had 4 cups. The one that didn't seal plus 2 cups left over. So altogether we did 18 cups of soup. So for split pea soup, I consider a serving a cup. It's a much denser soup. If it was like a broth soup, I do 2 cups, but for a thick soup like this, I'd say a cup. So for 18 servings, it was $5.35 if you don't include the cost of processing. I don't know what it costs to run the pressure canner for 75 minutes, but I'm sure it's pretty negligible. So that works out to this amount per serving. So delicious, cost effective, and we cleared some freezer space, and we got some shelf stable, ready to eat meals. All in all, split pea soup is a total win for us. All right, thanks so much for spending time with me today. I hope you are having a wonderful day. Bye now.